Hey everybody, the Respiral here, and welcome to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Alright, let's hope this goes better. It didn't go badly or anything, it's just when I was playing it I was like, hang on, my volume's turned up to full and this game seems real quiet. So episode 1, Turnabout Memories, and it's because the audio was set to 20, because from when I was testing previously. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. How did I get into this mess? Ooh. And this actually... Technically this is a test? Why? Why did I do that? Purely because I'm recording this on the PC, as opposed to using the Wii U, and mainly because the compatibility on PC is much better than it is on the Wii U. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Ooh. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Zap. Oh no. Who is it? Bum, bum, bum! It wasn't me. I didn't... Oh my god, it's Phoenix! I didn't do it. Oh yeah, and this is really weird. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey. Second trial. Alright, so... April 11th, 9:40 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Ooh, I do like the music. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Who could that be? Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right, this is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg, I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully too. I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean. What, and you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that. You see, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in that pink sweater over there? That's our client. Phoenix! Oh my god. You're such a dog. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say... I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. Oh wait, yeah, because I'm doing this on PC, I have access to like really cool features, but I can't remember them. I think it's one of the triggers activates speed up, and one of the triggers switches the screens. There it is! Yeah, see, it's really useful for certain games. So yeah, I bound that to one of my controls, so then I can switch between perspectives, or switch between whichever screen is in focus, which is super useful for certain games, because... Oh no, some games have got it where you've got, like, the top screen is the focus, then it switches to the bottom screen for battles and stuff. Like, Dragon Quest is one of the ones that comes to mind. Anyway, that's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey, I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Whoosh. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. Right, in we go. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. What the hell is that hairstyle? The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. His hair wiggles! Oh my god, that's the best. Well, well, well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Ooh. Okay, so I see a brolly, an exposed wire, and a corpse. Lovely. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, then they called the police. Or they then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts his photo into the record as evidence. Okay. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Ah, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. Oh my god. Grossberg, why do you mention your hemorrhoids? My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by touching the court record button. Or by pressing a button. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just touch the court record button here. Yeah, it's basically going to the autopsy report. Date and time of death. So, 3 PM, cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Now then, what would the attorney for the defense... Would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution! According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer of that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. He's not really a rookie killer, though. He kills no rookies. He gets beaten to death by every rookie he faces. He's crap. That's what Winston Payne is. He's just crap. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? Now, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir, into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mere the evidence isn't the only thing in the court record, perhaps that people's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Alright, so go over to profiles. There it is! Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Prosecutor, he looks like a monkey. Grossberg, right. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Alright, boom. Take that! The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. The only issue I have faced so far with playing this, using PC emulation, is the, shouting. So, you get the prompt to either shout, take that, or objection, or hold it. And I had some serious issue trying to get it to register, because I've got it to actually use my microphone. So, the main reason is because at the end of the game, that it has an objection thing you have to shout. Which is a bit of a pain, really. By the way, witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means, what did you do before you were arrested? Oh! I was a university student, Mr. Wright. You understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swat... But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Jesus. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Witness testimony! The victim and I. Oh, I like how this is sort of like a remix of the original. I think. Was it original? I can't remember. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Okay. Sheesh. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Whew. Looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? Oh my god. It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statement or statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, In court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. Oof. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? So I admit I was there. Yeah, it's like, if I try and do this, and just shout, oh, all I have to do is talk. That's perfect, never mind. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. That's you! Anyway, Mr. Wright. What were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? I'm also curious if that's going to be the case for everything. Like, if I just hold it down and talk a bunch, will it just shout hold it for me? No. Oh man, I thought I was onto something, because it worked. Right, so if I say, hold it. I just... okay, it might not be that bad. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Sneezing fit? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Bum bum bum. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock. That's a really bad pun. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Jesus. Would you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found his body. But I didn't do it. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna press every single time by shouting hold it, because I don't need to. Both. So you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here. You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. There we go. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right, I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Had you? Well, Mr. Wright... no, it wasn't me, I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew that the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with that huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Is that in the photo? I don't see no Union Jack. Can I object? Objection! It does work. Okay. I was just far too, I don't know, I must have just shouted and not given it enough time to actually do the action. There must be a delay between the mic and the feedback. Because I was shouting, like, objection, and it wasn't registering, so I was shouting objection again. So it was constantly hearing me say stuff. Oh well. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honour, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Not sure what to make of the music yet. I like it. I don't think it's got like anything on the original though. Like that's just too good. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Oh my god. Oh dear. Here, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Yeah. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took the over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? I lost it. Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with this case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Ugh. Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the... Wait, take a look at another photo from the crime scene. My goodness! What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X! Oh my god. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. Oh my god, his objection is just awful. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it. What? Uh-oh, this ain't looking good. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Oof. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. So we got a crime photo 2 and the Cold Killer X. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Ugh, broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids. Why? Why does he rant on about his hemorrhoids? I don't understand. It's not comedic, it's just like, what? What is happening? What really happened? You are lying. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Oh, dear. Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously. Achoo! Times 3. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Oh, goodness. So what really happened? So you went because he called you. I was in the pharmacology department. Oh, he was in the pharmacology department. Okay. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah. And we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. Had a whole laboratory and everything. It was full of chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Ho ho, how fascinating! He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. Time of the meeting? Yeah, the department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there are electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 we split up. Later I went back and I found him lying there. Taking Co-Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. He lost his bottle around lunchtime. Were you with anybody? On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelettes are magically delicious. Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh. No, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. Oh, there is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? With electricity. I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Establish murder method, or can't right now. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. Even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Yeah. That's the one where it shows the cable, isn't it? Yeah. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. But what? Oh, I have to point it out. There is nothing that even remotely resembles the murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? See, the cool thing about this is I could do this, and then now the touchscreen is in focus. Isn't that just the coolest? Boom. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor? Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Okay. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim toward the severed electrical cable. Damn! Order, order, order! That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. I swear. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. I was gonna say, what the fuck? Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? I do. Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth, so help you. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. Oh wow, his face went serious. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. God, shut up, Payne. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. What really, really happened, you mean? But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further. Wait, what? I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. Woo? What? So that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore? Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Ah, there we go. Oh. Wait, but it didn't seem like he died. It just looked like he pushed him down. Even Payne's sweating. Yeesh. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think that I was a murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. I'll be okay, it'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it, he really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. What the shit? I don't get why he goes on about his hemorrhoids. When I pushed the victim. The guy he was talking bad about Dolly. Oh, pardon me. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. Ah. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. Simple explanation indeed. The time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Okay, so when I push the victim... What would lead to more info? Talking bad about Dolly. His temper gave him a shove. At that moment I heard some kind of loud noise. What was this loud noise?